So let's quickly summarize what we've covered in this course. Well, first of all, we went over the history of Objective-C. I talked about a little bit about where Objective-C came from and its origins, and really what I wanted to point out here was its age and its roots from C and Smalltalk. When you compare Objective-C to Java and C Sharp, it's really an unfair comparison unless you understand the history. This is not a new language. It's not on the same level. It's designed with some different design goals in mind. Basic syntax, we went over some of the very basic syntax of Objective-C. Really though, there's not a lot more than the basic syntax. We've kind of covered quite a bit of what is there in Objective-C. And we didn't go into in-depth into it, but you should kind of have a familiarity with almost all of Objective-C as a language from this basic syntax here. I went over a small demo. We just created a small class and just went through some of the basic syntax that we had covered just to show how do you do this and use this. And then we talked about some of the general concepts, things that are particular to Objective-C. We talked a little bit about memory management, and hopefully I've made that easier for you so you don't have to run in fear every time someone says you have to manage your own memory in Objective-C. And then finally, we compared Objective-C to C Sharp. And really, like I said before, this is something that I would hope that you'd be able to use as a reference so you could go back and look at this and compare something that you know how to do in C Sharp to what is the equivalent in Objective-C. So that's really all there is to Objective-C, at least at a very basic level. We haven't gone in depth, and there, some concepts like protocols and categories, we haven't gone very in depth into or selectors, but this kind of should give you more than enough knowledge that you need to develop an iOS application. I really wanted to do this module instead of just jumping right in, just so you'd have enough of a knowledge so that you won't have to be afraid when you see this Objective-C code, and it looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. When you understand the basic concepts, I think you'll find that it's actually not very hard to use and not very hard to get into.